Hey, it's Scott L. Miller. This is Sheepguarding Llama. It is October 28th, 2019, and I'm actually recording this on the 28th, or I guess it's 9 minutes past midnight, but recording it on the day that it's happening so that it's kind of actually the right time, which never happens. So today, the 29th, it's Monday, and 4 days until I head to Nicaragua. Yay! I need to deal with ground transportation there yet, or I'm going to be sorry, so that's at the top of my list of things I'll definitely forget to do. So let's see. This morning started out with a little bit of frantic work and then team call, which pretty much a lot of our team is in Bolivia, and that, for those who are not following the news, is a huge thing going on right now. The country's in major civil unrest, and it's getting pretty scary. Obviously, Liesl and Luciana's best friends are Bolivian, and they have family that is scared down there, and they are following the events going on very closely. Our teams are in multiple cities, and they're very heavily affected by the food shortages and potential closing of the banks and possibly having the internet cut, and all kinds of things are going on. The streets are full of protesters for all sides. There's massive political upheaval. It's just a really, really scary situation going on down there. So that was the hot topic of the day, and a lot of dealing with options for them, or just whatever, and talking to everybody and making sure that people are safe, or finding out if people are safe, or whatever. So that was a major focus of a lot of the day. Luciana spent the day mostly playing video games. Liesl got up at 7 a.m. and went straight to work with RPG Maker on her new video game, The Seven Elements, and worked on that until midnight, when she knocked off just a couple minutes ago to go to bed. So she actually put in a 17-hour day working on her video game. Took basically no breaks all day. That's all she did. She either worked on the game or watched YouTube videos teaching her how to work on the game. So incredibly impressive. One of the things that we love about this, beyond the things I've talked about, writing and art and music and those things and storytelling, it's also teaching her project focus like she's never really had before. She's had project focus as kids do, like playing a video game or watching a show for 20 hours straight, as kids like to do. But this is really a project. She's actually building something, and the focus that she's giving this is really impressive. So that's pretty cool. And she learned that SMU, Southern Methodist University, which is in Dallas, just down the street, and they actually have apparently their video game school, Guildhall, is right in Plano. So right down the street from us. And she decided, well, that's where she's going to go to school now, of course, because they have that, and they're a big music school that I had looked at when I was a music major, and very well respected, nationally known school. So maybe this is the day that we can look back on and say this is the day that Liesl decided to go to SMU. But she's got a long way between here and there. So we'll see. But, it's always interesting to find out where those things start. This is the first time she ever heard of that school. So if we ever need to look that up 10 years from now, we'll know where to go. I guess not quite that long, probably. And so that was her day. The Steam sale is on today, so because Liesl's working on RPG Maker, we got about 20 RPG Maker games for her, which sounds crazy, but a lot of them are super short, and a lot of them are about 49 cents to like 79 cents when they're on sale. So this is not like a massive investment, but we did go through and get a whole bunch of those because obviously she's going to be playing those more. She's very interested to see what other people have done with the tool, and get a feel for like what can be done, what normal looks like. So what are some interesting takes on it? What all can the tool do if you work on other things, like here's what most people do, but the tool could let you do this. And just looking at screenshots and videos of games, she's impressed with some of the stuff that she's finding, and she's like, that's the tool I'm working with, is making that stuff. Like, that's really cool. So that's exciting. So we got a few hidden object games, we got a few adventure games, but mostly this huge slew of RPG Maker games. And we already have a lot, but hopefully she's going to play a lot of those and really get into it. And it gave us a lot of time to talk about like how game studios put out, lots of these things. And that's something that potentially, she could do. And that's what led us to find the SMU games, because they publish on Steam as well. I pretty much spent the whole day working. Paul and Dominica are watching Boston Legal, which I'm not really interested in. Like, it looks like a good show. It's just, those aren't the kind of shows I get into, and I certainly don't need to get addicted to another one or anything new. So I spent the day working at my desk until just a few minutes ago. I did have Taxi on a little bit. I only made it through maybe 2 episodes all day, and that's the only thing I watched. It's very sad to find today. So not that long ago, I was telling people about this travel show called the TransTravelers with Eric and Imogen, who are from London and went to Nicaragua when they were 19. I don't really know. And they did some of the best travel videos of Nicaragua. Period. Like, they just made some of the best. Like, the quality was pretty good in general, and people don't tend to do Nicaragua, and they did like hardcore living in Nicaragua. Here's a tour of Granada. Here's a tour of San Juan del Sur. Here's a tour of Ometepe. Here's Matagalpa. They're the only ones I ever knew to do Matagalpa. And I went to show someone videos of Matagalpa today because we have a whole bunch of people who are considering potentially moving. And those videos are gone. So there's nothing to show of Matagalpa anymore, which is really sad. One, because Matagalpa is this awesome town that I'd like to be able to show people, but also this was the best material of Nicaragua. They were really good at what they did, and all that material is just gone. Their whole video channel has been removed. So that's super sad. I can only imagine that they were getting harassed or something, and felt that they had to take that down, which is super unfortunate, because it was great content, and they seemed like really cool people, and just the whole thing. I don't know why it was taken down, but I can't imagine it was for a good reason. So that just really sucks for a lot of different reasons. And Nicaragua really needs travel videos, because it's such a cool country with so much to offer, and just nobody covers it, right? Which is true with lots of the great places in the world. I've been looking at Cameroon recently, and you can't find travel videos for Cameroon. There's just nothing. There's, a little bit of government stuff. There's a couple people doing drone shots off of the exact same spot on the beach. Like, is there only 50 feet of beach in the entire country? Because that's what you would think from the drone shots. It's always the exact same place. You never see the interior. You never really investigate the cities. You never see anything else along the coast, just this one spot. There is clearly no tourism going on. No one like recording anything or writing it down. So it's like, you really can't find much. Nicaragua has the same problem. There's all this great material, very few people covering it. What does get covered is Granada and San Juan del Sur over and over and over again. And, Granada has a fair amount of stuff, but people only ever show the main square. And San Juan del Sur, pretty much people just show the beach and the statue. And that's like it. And it's way too little for, go investigate some restaurants, go check out some neighborhoods, go explore, right? I've lived in Granada, and there's an awful lot to potentially show. Why is no one showing restaurants and art galleries and resorts and all those kinds of things? I think they should be. Not just showing the horses walking in front of the old colonial church on the square over and over and over again. We've seen it. We got it. That's Granada. Let's see the rest. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. Other than that, wow. The day was busy and just a lot going on. But between Liesl and her video game, and me and work, and the stuff going on in Bolivia, and prepping for Nicaragua in 4 days, that's it. That's all I got. So at least we're caught up on the videos here on SGL. We've been doing this for more than 2 weeks without missing a day. And some days I've been doing them in multiple parts, some just one, but I'm really happy that I'm keeping this going, because it gets that momentum. Let's see, tomorrow is Tuesday. Everyone is home tomorrow. Not too much special. Oh, I did have to go to a client site today, so that took a bit of my afternoon. That kind of disrupted my day, but that went well. I've got some meetings tomorrow, but I think pretty much just around the house. Everyone's here. Wednesday, everyone is headed down to Houston without me. I'm just taking care of the dog, taking care of Mia. And they're going down for Halloween. I can't go because of work and the dog, and have to be able to get ready to go to Nicaragua. I cannot be gone because I will not be around to deal with the flights for Alan and Teeny coming into town, and I won't be around to deal with Rachel needing logistics to make sure she makes the flight, and I won't be around to pack and to work. Certainly can't be away as so much of the team may lose internet at any time. There's just a lot of potential disruption going there. I need to be here as much as possible. So I'm not going. So I will miss Halloween, which is sad, but really, even though I like doing it with the girls and they like having me there, it's not an event where there's much for me to do. Pretty much I walk with them and they're really busy with their cousins and doing the trick-or-treating. So while they like having me there, they barely notice, right? It's one of those things where it would be great if I could always be there for Halloween, but it's also realistically just not a spot where they actually would spend time. It's not like Christmas where like you're a part of this big thing. Pretty much they go up, they get candy, and the adults kind of just walk along with them. So they're doing mostly their own thing. So they don't really miss me. They wish I was there. I wish I was there, but it's not as big a deal as it seems. And I have been there, many times, and I've missed many times. It's a tough holiday for me to make in Houston, and it's never, it's midweek that makes it super hard. They're going to be gone all day Thursday, and then Thursday night is full-on prep for Nicaragua. Everything's got to be packed. The luggage has got to be ready to go. Friday morning, they are all coming back from Houston, so hopefully we'll be able to take Rachel and I to the airport with Alan and Teeny and get us on the plane, but if not, I'm going to Uber. But the hope is that they're going to be here so I can see the kids before I leave. And then Friday afternoon, leaving for the airport roughly 4 o'clock. DFW to Fort Lauderdale to Managua. We'll be getting in at 12:30. So that is the week. Really, there's 3 work days left and a flight day. It's going to be a jam-packed week full of stuff. Oh, and we have a large client doing a phone port tomorrow, which we do all the time, but always excitement, right? Always something to have happen as that goes on. So it's going to be a busy week, but looking forward to Nicaragua. It's not a vacation, but it's going to feel mostly like one unless some disaster strikes. But very much looking forward to getting back. This is my year of going back to countries. It's interesting that, in 2015, we started living abroad and we lived in all these countries, and we never went back to any of them, not even flying through. And then this summer, we went back to Spain, Italy, and Greece. Spain, we only spent a couple days. Italy, we spent several days. In Greece, we spent more than a week. We spent like almost 2 weeks in Greece. And so those are the first 3 countries that we've gone back to in any sense that we had lived in. We have some countries that we've been to multiple times. Switzerland, we've been to several times, but we never lived there. It's just that we've visited it several times. England, same kind of thing. France, we've been back to several times, but never lived there. But so 3 of the 8 countries the U.S. obviously we've been back to. So of the 7 non-origination countries that we have returned, or that we've ever been in, we've now returned to 3 of them, and but not to live again. And then this Friday, I will be back to Nicaragua. So for me, 4 of the 7 I will have been back to, which is really interesting that all of a sudden in a 6-month period, going back to so many of them is a very different experience. Unfortunately, have not made it back to Romania, where Paula is constantly asking us when we're going to come back to see Baița, because we've been saying we were coming back ever since we were there in 2016, and we thought we were going to be right back the next year, and it just didn't work out because that's when disaster struck, and we've just lost the opportunity to go back there. So that's been awful because we miss it, and it was so wonderful. We don't want to be away. So it sucks that we've visited so many other places, and it was on the list of could have gone back to this summer, but Emily's itinerary did not take us up that direction, so we weren't able to go back. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night. It is time to get some sleep. I got to get up and work early in the morning, find out how bad things are, and what all's going on and how we're going to deal with it, and get things coordinated for Nicaragua. So everybody enjoy your night. Thanks for tuning in to Sheep Guarding Llama TV. Maybe that's what we should call it. SGL TV. Ooh, I like that. And this is, I think, 16 days of continuous recording. So see everybody tomorrow.